the government of Hank Aaron was overthrown in a military coup by 34-year-old Sergeant Major Desi Boutere. He called it a revolution.
A revolution.
Your palate is bleeding a convenient red, a color of fear, a narrative thread. You stitch a specter from a strong man's cloth to wrap the bones of economic wrath. You frame the chaos, you focus the lens on a fleeting alliance.
Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel. Please don't mind the sunburn. Yes, I'm back in the Philippines, but today I wanted to talk to you about something important. So I just saw a new video from Lost in Context about Surinam, and I wasn't surprised to see that it's a masterclass in anti-communist propaganda. They're pushing the same old CIA talking points. Find a complicated post-colonial struggle, label any non-compliant leader Marxist, and erase all history and context. Sound familiar? So as a communist, I'm tired of seeing all this garbage go about unchallenged, and there are not many videos on the subject, so I thought I should debunk this shit. So let's break down exactly what they got wrong. And I'm going to use a clear historical example and a Marxist analysis. First, let's talk about Boutere's, I don't know if I'm saying the name correctly, I don't really care because it's a French name. Let's talk about his famous alliance with Cuba, which the propaganda channel held up as proof of his leftist or communist leanings. So here's what they deliberately leave out. That alliance was short-lived and ended in a sudden, spectacular betrayal. So here's what happened. On October 25, 1983, the United Snakes invaded the island of Grenada to overthrow its socialist government. Just one day later, on October 26, Desi Boutere went on national television in Surinam. He suspended all agreements with Cuba, ordered their embassy scaled down, and gave the Cuban ambassador Oscar Osvaldo Cardenas just 6 days to get out of the country. Why did he do this? Because he's not a Marxist, not a communist.
Though he didn't start out as a Marxist,
Shut up, boy.
Boutere was soon declaring, "We have stooped long enough beneath the yoke of capitalism." Soon, Surinam's only ally was Cuba, and it was broke. There were strikes and power cuts.
Let's be clear about what this means. This wasn't an ideological split between communist allies. This was a paranoid military strongman who had enjoyed Cuban training and support, throwing his ally under the bus to save his own skin the second he felt threatened. This is the behavior of an opportunist, not an ideologically committed Marxist revolutionary. Even his Wikipedia page notes that this move was perhaps for fear of US aggression. How ironic. So if his foreign policy was pure opportunism, what was his domestic policy? Well, let's be perfectly clear, using the words from the Marxist.com article. Boutere's governments were a classic example of spending money the government didn't have, borrowing it from Chinese and Indian finance capital instead of taking it away from the tax-dodging Surinamese bourgeoisie. Was his way of maintaining social peace and staying in power. That is not Marxism, bitch. That's capitalism. That is a strongman running a clientist state, running up a massive national debt to buy social peace. The article states plainly that under him, the national debt ballooned from 20% to 111% of GDP. His primary goal was power, not proletarian revolution, unfortunately. So calling him a Marxist is an ideological smear, not a historical analysis.
He called it a revolution.
Shut the fuck up. So what's really going on in Surinam? The recent explosive protests are about survival. To quote the article, inflation in the country is 54.7%. Hey, I'm recording a video. For bread, cereals, fruits, and vegetables. These rates reach between 74 and 80%. Wages haven't kept up. The current government is enforcing a brutal IMF austerity. This article makes a crucial point. The fundamental difference between Santokhi and Boutere is not corruption, but their attitude towards Dutch imperialism. This is the key. Western propaganda labels leaders who defy their economic interests as communists to justify hostility. It's not about democracy, it's about control. This is where the Lost in Context video fits in. It takes a complex class struggle and reduces it to a simple, scary fairy tale.
Though he didn't start out as a Marxist,
I was never a Marxist, bro. It's not hard to fact check. I literally just searched on Google, Surinam anti-communist propaganda, and look at the history. CIA had a pattern, and when you see a leader like Boutere, an authoritarian who jailed and killed leftist critics, being painted as a Marxist, you should ask, who benefits from that lie? And again, it wasn't hard to get this information. Just fucking Google it. So, to wrap up, Boutere was a capitalist strongman, not a communist. His alliance with Cuba was a tactical, short-lived maneuver that he ended abruptly, out of fear and political calculation, not ideological commitment. The real crisis in Suriname is a capitalist crisis, enforced by the IMF. This lost in context propaganda is a tool to make you support imperialism by dressing it up as a fight for democracy against communism. So don't fall for it. Read, look at the economic data, understand the class dynamics, and push back against channels that peddle this historical garbage. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I'm Mona Vegana, and you can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, and all the rest. If you want to support me, go listen to my music or buy it on yamshake.bandcamp.com. And you can always reach out to me, message me on Instagram or wherever else. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Palette is bleeding a convenient red, a color to fear, a narrative thread. You stitch a specter from a strong man's cloth to wrap the bones of economic wrath. You frame the chaos, you focus the lens on a fleeting alliance that expedience ends, while the silent ledger, the inflation's breath, writes the sentence of a living dead. You're the stagehand for the Marxist blade, curator of the mess your masters made. A context of cages, a scholarly crime, selling the ass as the reason for life. So fuck your context, the tailored lie, the sanctioned famine in the scholar's eye. Your frame is a prison, your truth is a feast for the bloated heart of the blood-drenched beast. We see the stitches, we know the name, we ain't playing your fucked up game. We know the name, we ain't playing your fucked up game. Your dictionary defines the rebel and thief to justify granting the wound, withholding relief. You mourn democracy, slain by a ghoul, ignoring the decades you drained from the soil with a glossary written by the conqueror's hand. You map all resistance to some foreign land, a theorem of tyranny so clever and cold, a story of monsters that your own coffers told. I've seen the factory of your facts, the architect smoothing the towering stacks, the paper that buried a causal chain, the screams refrain, there's a distant rain, but the flood is rising with a tidal truth, in the sinew and will of insurgent youth, with a consequence, the unarchived fact, the future erupting in visceral act. No more of your pathology, your diagnosed rage, your scripted outburst on a captive stage. We reject the theater, your twisted spin, for the roots, the system that let the plague in. So fuck your context, the daily lie, the sanctioned famine in the scholar's eye. Your frame is a prison, your truth is a feast for the bloated heart of the blood-drenched beast. We see the stitches, we know the name, we ain't playing your fucked up game. So fuck your conscience, we know the name, yeah, we ain't playing your fucked up game. tease for the bloated heart of the blood-drenched beat. We see the stitches, we know the name. We ain't playing your fucked up game. We see the stitches, we know the name. Yeah, we ain't playing your fucked up game. You can lose the context, we won't lose the thread. The one that leads from the factory to the ledger of the dead, to the dawn's red flame, unbranded, untamed. The real puppet master won't go on name.